Hey everybody, Black Ninja 797 here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about the Overwatch role queue update that just recently came out. This update, in my opinion, has made Overwatch so ungodly much better. Like, it's literally so ridiculous how much the game has improved just from this update. This update was so long overdue that finally having it is just surreal. Literally is the most amazing feeling, and I want to stress all that feeling to you guys right now to let you guys know how Overwatch is doing, because I want to know if you guys stopped playing Overwatch, or if you guys have been playing it less and less, or if you guys never even played Overwatch, like where you guys stand with Overwatch. Because typically I would figure most people that follow a certain YouTuber, even though they might only just like the personality, not necessarily care about the game they're playing, but typically the game does have an influence. And so I would assume that if you guys watch me, you at least know of Overwatch and respect it, and so maybe you even play it. So I just want to let you guys know how the game's doing if you haven't played it in a while. Because this update really doesn't apply if you already know how the game's going. Because if you play the game, you already know about the update. But either way, just want to let you know how the game's doing. Let you know my thoughts and opinions on it and why I really do truly love this update. So for where I should begin, I should talk about how Overwatch has evolved to give you guys a reference point. So those of you guys that don't know, Overwatch started off back in 2016, and the game was crazy popular. It was definitely one of the most popular games out there, because keep in mind, this was the year right before Fortnite and when Infinite Warfare came out. So Call of Duty went on probably its worst year, one of its worst years for sure. And then Fortnite wasn't out, Apex wasn't out. Really, there was nothing out that was holding a lot of people's attention. So in 2016, all the time, you would just see Overwatch this, Overwatch that, and everyone was loving the game, and that was fun. Now, I picked up the game late. However, though, I ended up getting into it, around September, I would say, of 2016, and I caught up right away. I loved the game. I was hooked. I played the beta. I just never got around to getting the full game until late, but I ended up loving the game. I fell in love, and I remember why I liked the beta. And so I played it, and then me and my friends played obsessively for I would say a good year and a half to even 2 years. Over this last, I would say, year to two here, with year 3 technically leading into year 4, we haven't necessarily been playing as much until just recently, when it was just me and Just, because me and Just are really the only ones that truly still play the game left. And oh my god, Jesus Christ, this update is amazing. I love this update so much. So for those of you guys that also don't know what the update is, for the longest time, the one thing that's plagued Overwatch, mostly in competitive, but it still applies to, just the normal way the game plays. The way that the game plays, whether it be quick play or competitive or whatever it is that you play, the one thing that's stressful is that it's the character selection. So let me get this, basically kind of shortened down for you. There is damage characters, the killing characters that everyone likes to use, which is the preferred ones. I'll explain why that's complicated in a second here. You have the tanks, the big beefy ones, usually has a lot of health, a lot of good abilities, a lot of good defensing mechanisms. And then you have the healers. Probably the least popular, I'm pretty sure, by a mile. It's like everyone's least favorite thing, because you just don't shoot, you heal. I guess that's not first person healing, it's first person shooting for the game. I get that, but I mean, come on. And so yeah, those are kind of your main roles, and you can kind of see where this is going here. The main strategy that a lot of people would try to do is that they would try to do 2-2-2 ideally, which was 2 tank, 2 healer, 2 damage, or 2 DPS. But the thing is, though, is that everyone wanted to either do the damage or sometimes the tank. Basically, no one wanted to heal. You would even also sometimes barely get anybody playing tank, and so literally it was just 6 DPS, and then against one team that actually knew what they were doing, and it would be a team that would stop you because you refused to play certain characters that coordinate with each other. That was the one thing that coordinated Overwatch with being toxic. Toxicity is because people wanted to have the game be fun, but they refused to also switch as well. So it became this back and forth thing of, you should switch because I don't want to, or you should switch because of your certain playtime with this character, yada yada. And it became really horrible, and Overwatch fell down to the toilet at that point. But with this update, it allowed it so that way in quick play and in competitive, at least the now current version, there is an old school version, for update previous. but you are now forced, before you even queue into a match, to insta-lock a role. You have to pick damage or tank or healer, and you cannot change your mind. You must play that throughout the game. You have a choice of whatever is in that class, but what it is, you are stuck with. Now, in turn, this seems like that, yes, it might be a bad thing, but it actually is in turn a good thing, because you're not going to queue for something you obviously don't want to play. Nobody, else is going to be doing that as well. Really, the only thing is the creativity. Sure, you can't have necessarily ridiculous comps anymore, but then again, people won't really seem to like that anyway, so it's not really a big loss. It's majority or minority, so it allows players to queue for whatever they want and be able to get the teammate support that they want, and it allows the matches to be more fun and more fluid and more balanced. It's not necessarily a matter of one team gets pub stomped because they're all refusing to play anything besides DPS, and the other ones want to play something somewhat, coherent of a team, comp. So there's no worry about that anymore, which is really, really nice to see. And this, once again, applies to quick play and competitive. Now, they also, on top of that, at least for competitive, what they have done is for the roles, they have now their own placements. So, for example, instead of it being just 10 straight matches and then you get anywhere from Bronze to Grandmaster, you actually end up just getting either Bronze or Grandmaster, but for different characters. So for example, you have 5 placements as a healer, a tank, and a DPS. So there's technically 15 placements, but they're 5 across all the character roles. And they each have their own SR, their own rank, their own competitive points, but you get rewarded for the more diverse that you are. So for example, you could be Grandmaster in DPS, but you might be Bronze in tank, or you might be Diamond and healer, but you might be Silver in DPS, or etc. It's depending on what you play. It allows you to see what you're good with, what you're bad with. Same thing for other people, and it allows you to not be punished if you don't necessarily want to play a certain role. Because the way that queuing used to work is that you would get placed based off your skill level, and your SR and your rewards and your penalties would be based off of what you did, how much damage you did, how much killing you did, how much objective time you did, how much you helped your teammates out, how much you were in the match for, etc., etc. And there's also now, I'm not sure if this is necessarily win or lose, but each time I play a game now competitive, whether I win or lose, I get 25 competitive points just guaranteed at the end of the match. I assume this is an incentive to keep people from rage quitting, also even if you lost. So that's actually really, really nice to see. And it seems like that even though technically you do get less, obviously, because they can't give you as many comp points as they used to be, but just due to way that people play now, it seems like I'm getting more, which is awesome. So I should be on a way to another gold gun soon at this rate, which is really, really cool. It's incentivizing me to play the game. It's incentivizing my friends to play the game. Hopefully it will get more of my friends on the game. And since other games right now, are kind of oversaturated and frustrating at this point, I would like to see a blend of Overwatch come back into the play. It's nice to see because over the last little bit, I've seen Twitch actually blowing up with Overwatch, and even to a certain degree on YouTube, which is great. They also released the new character Sigma, which if you guys don't know, I uploaded a video on recently. You should go check him out. He's an amazing character, and he plays really, really well in the meta. Basically, Overwatch is really fun again, to the point where it feels like it's literally like the way it used to be. Not necessarily in the way that, what you can play, but it's how people play. And that's just nice to see, because games in multiplayer, at least, one of the huge things they will suffer from is toxic communities or toxic fan base, because you're not going to be able to necessarily have a problem with something being overpowered or broken as long as it's not being manipulated. And the only people that do that is actual real life people. You don't necessarily go into custom games and have the bots cuss you out, being like, oh, screw you for using Battle Mercy, butthead. That's not how it goes. So it's really, really nice to see the changes. Let me know what you think about them in the comment section down below, and where do you stand with Overwatch? And if not, let me know where you at least, stand with this video. Do you guys enjoy, these types of videos? I've been trying to do a lot more commentaries, and I've also been starting to daily upload again. I mentioned that in the last video. It is kind of a grind though, considering my schedule, but I am pushing through because I feel like it's long overdue and I have the motivation for it. And one of the ways you can help keep that motivation is just showing your support by either leaving a like, leaving a comment, or subscribing, or why not all of the above. It is always greatly appreciated. It helps more than you think. And I hope you guys ended up enjoying the video. Once again, if you happen to enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and comment down below on your thoughts.